Welcome to Average House Price. In these videos, I'm going to take a look at what houses are available for the average house price. The current average house price in the UK as of February 2025, according to the UK House Price Index, is £268,000. I'm going to take a look at 3 different houses listed for under that price, this time looking in the city of Leeds. Let's see what we can find for under that price. We're doing a search here on Rightmove. As you can see, I've already got properties for sale in Leeds, West Yorkshire as the search criteria, and I'm just going to leave it as property types all because the majority show houses, I think. The price I'm going to put in, and I'll just put in £270,000, so it's just slightly above our average house price, but should still return many under that price. And let's search. Here's our first place in Leeds today, Lingfield Gardens, Leeds, £265,000, 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, semi-detached place. So let's take a look at the photos. So here's the first one here of the front of the house. So nice looking gardens around it. The house, not sure what sort of age that is, but looks reasonably nice from the outside. It's got a traditional looking, older style looking kitchen with beams and stuff on the ceiling there, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, pretty big size kitchen really. And you've got a nice window there, letting in a bit of light. And looks like a place to eat there. And then more storage space here for the kitchen, so fairly large area for the kitchen there. Here's the living room, again, fairly traditional looking, with the ceiling there. Probably a little bit cluttered in this photo, but I'm sure anyone who bought it could probably bring as much to the house and make it look a little bit neater and nicer, probably. Here's one of the bedrooms here, so fairly bright there. And don't know if that's the same bedroom or not, but there's small cupboard space down there. Here's another bedroom. So this one's a bit bigger than the other one. I'm not sure what size that bed is, maybe just a double. You can potentially get a much larger bed in that room if needed. Not sure about the wallpaper. I'm not really a massive fan of wallpaper, but this stuff here, you could probably get that down and paint the room if needed, or some other wallpaper if that's not to your liking. And here's the other bedroom here. So this one's a bit of a smaller bedroom. Obviously, if you put the bed there, you can't get anything bigger than a single with the doorway there. You could potentially get a bigger bed, possibly across this way, maybe. I'm not too sure. We'd have to look at the picture and see the measurements on this one. Here's the bathroom. That looks fairly nice. Bath there, pretty bright, especially on this day anyway. And here's a picture of the garden. So got a nice pergola or a pergola there to sit under, and yeah, nice green garden there. There's another view back towards the house from the garden. Looks pretty nice. Potentially be tidied up a little bit, but I like the look of the garden personally. There's another view. I don't know if that was it's to the rear as well, I think. Not sure where that is, to be honest. It looks like it's at the back of the house. So potentially, don't know where that is, the side of the house maybe. There's that view again. They're definitely using the garden to sell it. Shed space if needed. See a lot of stuff in there currently, so potentially lots of stuff if you've got it, or just potentially convert that as well, maybe into another room, maybe a room and a bathroom. There's an aerial view here, so there's the street out there. So it looks like a fairly quiet street at the end of the cul-de-sac there from the look of it. And yeah, nice big garden there with plenty of established trees, which looks really cool. Oh yeah, there we go. So that pergola is out the side of the house there. So yeah, that's why it looks quite a small garden when you look from that way. But so the exit, or the entrance to the outside of the house, is through the side there, and then this is the big garden at the back here. Looks like there's a greenhouse there as well. It's a very decent sized garden. I like that. And here's another view of that living room. View from above. And it looks like there's another, maybe that's that shed that I looked at before that looked pretty cluttered. Maybe that's it at the back there, possibly, but some nice coloured plants in the garden there. There's another picture of that living room. And the kitchen. Another picture of the backyard, probably taken from upstairs. Looks like the shed entrance. And another view, probably leading to the shed maybe, not sure, but nice paths through the garden as well. And then there's another picture of a cupboard in one of the upstairs rooms. A picture of the garden from the very back. Another picture of the garden. Another one of the garden. I think it's definitely a selling point of this house, so they've taken plenty of photos of it. And there's another aerial view, so yeah, fairly nice looking area there. I like the look of that. And that's it for the pictures there. Got a little wagon wheel on the front of the house there as well. And a nice gate there with a hedge at the front. Yeah, really nice looking house, I think, especially if they price $265,000. I don't know what Lingfield Gardens is like, but looks like a nice area in these pictures. Looks can be deceiving. I'm just going to go to the floor plan here. So here is the entrance into the house. There's that kitchen we've seen, stairway up that way, cupboards there, living space, lounge room over there. You got a toilet at the back there, a utility room, so for washing machines and probably more storage for the kitchen, possibly. Like you could have a pantry in there maybe. And then that leads out to the side under the pergola / pergola, however you want to pronounce it there. And then the upstairs, come up the stairs here, there's the bathroom. I think it must be a shower over the bath only. And then there's the 3 bedrooms. I think that's the little one I saw where the bed was going this way, but let's show across this way. 2.57 metres by 2.15 metres, so it's a bit hard to tell. Looks like a square from those dimensions, so it's hard to tell which is the slightly larger space, but you should be able to, if you can fit a bed that way, you should be able to fit a bed that way as well, I think. So you could potentially have a bigger bed, but you wouldn't have a lot of space in that room. And then this bedroom here's the one that had the cupboard space there, so looks a reasonable size there because it takes up that space there. There's another cupboard there as well near the bathroom. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that house, to be honest, for the price. We'll go back again and then just have a look at a few things here. Oops, went back too far. Go into it again and just have a look down here and see if there's any other info here. So excellent size rear garden, that's true. Dining kitchen, cul-de-sac location, 3 bedrooms, downstairs water closet and utility. Council tax band A. Parking, ask agent. I think the parking it looked like was just street parking maybe, but it was a quiet street, so I'm pretty sure you'd find parking there easily enough. Garden, yes. Energy performance certificate, ask agent. So they don't have one of them on here, unfortunately. And here's a map of the area here, so right near a high school there, Allerton High School. Check out city stations nearby. It says Burley Park train station, 2.8 miles, Headingley station 2.8 miles, and Bosforth station 3.4 miles. So a little way, 20 train stations, unfortunately. Allerton C.V. Primary School 0.2 miles, Allerton High School 0.3 miles, so really close to a high school there. Ofsted Outstanding, which is also good to know. Leeds Jewish Free School 0.4 of a mile, and Brodetsky Primary School, 0.5 miles. And the primary, well, I don't know if that's a primary school, that one there, the Jewish Free School, but Brodetsky Primary School on the C of E Primary School are both very close and both have Ofsted Good, and so does the Jewish Free School as well. So that's handy. And I'll just open the map just to see in relation to the city centre in Leeds where it is. So I'll scroll out a bit. There's a medical centre nearby, which is handy. Sainsbury's around the corner there. And looks like there's a fair bit of green space nearby as well, which is handy. Golf club just up there. The Lord Darcy, I don't know if that's a pub or just a bar, but that's nearby as well. And then if I zoom out, so there's Leeds down there, so sort of north of the University of Leeds and north of the city centre. Just a little further out from Headingley and Chapel Allerton, so that looks like a fairly nice area from what I know of Leeds. Exit the map, go and take one more look at the house. So there it is. So yeah, I think that's a good house for the price there for $265,000. So that one's a bit of a winner as far as I'm concerned. Here's our second property in Leeds. This one's in Lulworth Crescent, Leeds, and it's listed as £260,000. So yeah, looks like a fairly solid looking place from the outside there. Got nice greenery at the front there. And a driveway down the side there, but we'll click in here and just have a look at these photos. Check the place out a bit more. So there's the outside view. There's the living room. Looks fairly recently painted. The walls look fairly white there. Looks like a nice looking place. Nice and bright bay window there at the front. Here's the dining room. It looks a bit small the way they've put the table in the corner there like that, but it's a larger room than it looks with just the table stuck in the corner there, but a nice view out to the back there from the looks of that. Here's the kitchen, so fairly modern-ish kitchen. Definitely not old. Don't know if that's to everyone's taste, but it's a little bit plain for my liking, and I'm not really a fan of those fluorescent lights either. That they're really ugly in my opinion, but I'm sure you can get some other lighting fitted quite easily in that room. And again, from the kitchen and the sink, you've got a great view out the back there, which is nice. Nice greenery at the back there. And a view of the kitchen there. And there's the landing. Here's bedroom 1. Nice big bedroom with some bay windows again at the front. And loads of storage space here, which is perfect. And there's that room again, just a different view. Here's bedroom 2. Looks like it could be a kid's bedroom currently, with 2 beds in there. Or it might just be a guest room or something, I don't know. Again, views out the back from the looks of that. Bedroom 2 again, more storage space. Not sure about that carpet, but everyone has different tastes. And bedroom 3, not a fan of that colour wall there, that sort of colour there. But yeah, whoever buys the place can certainly change that. Very small room, that one. That's definitely a kid's room, that one. Really a half bedroom, that one, really, with some cupboard space there and plenty of CDs up there. And an old CD player down there as well. And here's the bathroom. Here's the bath itself. I don't know if there's a separate shower. I'll have to look later on, or it could be a shower over that bath, possibly. And the looks of that curtain there, shower curtain. And a heated towel rail there. There's toilet. Separate toilet. Here's the backyard space. So, got some lawn there, which is quite nice, and then some nice shrubs growing around the sides there, and then the tree there. I don't know if that tree's on this property or the neighbour's property, but it's It's a nice looking garden, nice and green. And it looks like a carport or shed, not sure what that is. Covered in pebbles. There it is there. Now we've got a little raised area there as well. Possibly an eating area there. It's behind the shed. And there's the view of the back of the house. I don't see a door leading out this way. The door must lead out to the side, I guess. And yeah, there we go. So that grass is actually raised as well. So there's some steps up to that from the back. And there's another view from that other raised area at the very back there, looking towards the house. And looks like the neighbour's little loft extension in, so you can do the same if needed for this house. The neighbours can do it, I'm sure this house is able to as well. And you can sort of see out onto the street there too. It looks pretty quiet looking street, which is also nice. And there's a view from the front again. So yeah, the driveway, and then that's leading down to your carport / shed if needed. And yeah, it does look like there's a doorway out the side there, so that must be how you access the backyard there. So that's how that one looks. We'll go back here and check out some other details on this place. So it is semi-detached, 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. Floor plan here. So we've got the entrance hall there, stairs up there, kitchen out the back there, and there's that exit out to the side to go out to the backyard. Rear garden. There's a dining area there, that little dining room we saw. It's actually bigger than it looks in that photo as I thought it might. And there's a living room there, so quite a nice sized living room. And then there's bedroom 1 upstairs there. When you come up the stairs, bedroom 1, so that was quite big. It's almost as big as a living room, which is nice. Bedroom 2, and bedroom 3 is just a bit of a pokey little thing over there. So I don't know. You could potentially, I don't know if it's possible. You could potentially, you probably couldn't move that wall because of the windows there. I was going to say you could potentially move that wall and then have a bigger bedroom 3, but it doesn't look like that is possible. Could maybe move that slightly, move part of that wall there to give you more space in that room. I don't know. Or you could just, as I said, maybe get a loft extension if needed, build up into the loft for another bedroom up there. Separate toilet and bathroom here, so it is a shower over the bath in that bathroom, unfortunately. But it is only 260,000, so that's, so you have to make compromises when you're going to buy something that's that high-end price. And we'll just zoom down a bit more here. 3-bedroom, semi-detached house, full PVC double glazing, lovely south-facing rear garden, so that's good, south-facing. Council tax band C, beautifully presented. Modern kitchen and bathroom, ample off-road parking and garage, EPC rating D. So we can check out the energy performance certificate here. Now it's saying currently a D, so not fantastic, but not terrible either, and has the potential to get to a B rating, so not sure what's needed for that. And here's a map of where it's located as well. So nice big green space over there behind, which is lovely, and yeah, it does look like it's a fairly quiet street there, and near to a train station, which is also handy. Check on this map here. Crossgate Station, 0.4 miles. So I reckon that's that one there, Crossgates. Garforth Station, 2.4 miles, and East Garforth Station, 3 miles. And as far as schools go, there is Osthorpe Primary School, 0.3 miles away, Ofsted Good. Manston St James Primary Academy, 0.7 miles, Ofsted Good. Colton Primary School, 0.7 miles, Ofsted Outstanding, and Manston Primary School, 0.8 miles, Ofsted Good. So plenty of primary schools nearby, and all good or outstanding, which is very handy. And I'll just open the map to see exactly where in Leeds this is located and see what else is around. So there's that Crossgate Station there. Yeah, beautiful big green area here. say the place is Barrington Nature Reserve. Decent size there. And then we have what's this around? There's a bar just nearby there. Devon. Doesn't have any other name, just Devon. Hairdressers nearby there. Sainsbury's down the road there. Premier Inn, the Leeds East Hotel over here in Whitkirk. And then I'll just zoom out a little just to see where we are in relation to Leeds. So we're, looks like we are east of Leeds. And then, yeah, so reasonably kind of on the outskirts of town, I guess, from that, but probably still not too far from Leeds. Plus, you've got that station there, which will get you into the centre of Leeds quite quickly. Well, it looks like you can also get to Garforth from there too, which is also handy. So yeah, that is our second property today in Leeds. And here's our third and final house we'll be looking at in Leeds. As you can see, this one's a lot older than the others, I believe. Certainly looks older and more traditional. It's a terraced place on Ashfield Terrace in Leeds. Guide price $260,000, and looks pretty nice from the outside. Take a look inside now. Have a look at these photos. So you've got these big gates at the front here, and I don't know if that's an entrance into part of the house there or not. I don't know what that is there, but yeah, really compact looking from the outside, but apparently it's over 4 levels, so we'll take a look. And here's a small courtyard entrance area. It looks quite nice, an old brick place here from the looks of it. And there's the front door. And this looks like conservatory, possibly at the back there. Yeah, looks like there's doors there to close that off because it may potentially be quite cool in there in winter and warm in summer. Most conservatories. Audio too, we don't want that. And this looks like the living room with a fireplace there. And I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the way that fireplace looks, but it's traditional. It's quite nice then, I guess. But yeah, not a fan of the wallpaper, definitely. But floorboards, definitely, they look great. But yeah, that looks like just the conservatory is just off to the side of this living area here. That may be a dining area or just another living space, possibly, with that living room just to the back there. And there's that living room again. Now I think that fire may potentially, from the looks of it, be an electrical fire. Sorry. Electric fire, not electrical fire. But yeah, looks like you plug that thing in to give you heat. And it looks like there's stairs leading up to there. And then doorway going through to another area there, past that other living space. Here's the kitchen. So there's your cooktop and oven there. Washing machine here. Some fairly old looking lighting in here. Bit of an old looking kitchen, could potentially be updated if needed. There's another view of the kitchen. Not sure if that's the boiler in behind there, but probably is, I'd say. Here's one of the bedrooms, so yeah, interesting looking around that one. Sure if that'll be to everyone's taste or not. Those flowers painted on the fairly dated looking cupboards there. Plenty of storage in the room, that's for sure. Some little drawers down here, and that carpet is definitely interesting. That's one word for it. Looks like it could be at least 30 years old, maybe 40 years old, who knows. It's in fairly good nick though for carpet that's that old. Definitely out of style these days. Here's another bedroom. Kind of hurts your eyes to look at this one as well. Some black or grey, dark grey walls there and there. And some interesting carpet. I don't know if that's what those spots are on there, whether that's part of the way the carpet's meant to look, or if that's just some powder that's being put on there to make it smell nice. I don't know. And another interesting looking room. Don't know what this room is, whether it's a bedroom or looks like the floor's tiled or has lino on the floor. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that thing is there. It's pretty dark. The curtains are interesting, and that tiles or whatever that is on the floor is also interesting. Yeah, strange looking place. This is a bit more like it. I like the look of this bathroom. This is it's not amazing, but definitely better compared to the other rooms. I like the freestanding bath and toilet and sink, basin all look fairly modern and probably repros, but they look kind of traditional, which is nice. Some big tiles on the walls there. Don't know about the two-tone tiles or the floor for that matter, but it's a step up from the other rooms anyway. And there's the shower there. Here's the stairwell. So, yep, some fairly yellow-looking walls there. Unless that's just the lighting, I don't know. Definitely some updates needed here. And there's that room with the weird flooring in there that I looked at before. Don't know what that room is. We'll have to look at the floor plan after if there is one. Here's the loft room. So this is a decent size room. I like the look of this. Actually, nice and bright because of the skylight windows there. And then, not a big fan of the paint wallpaper either, but you can redecorate that, and the floorboards look really nice. I like the look of those. Don't know what this display thing is there, but I'm sure the owners will hopefully take that with them. There's a little courtyard area again, and it looks like there is an entrance into that. That may be a shed or something. I don't know what that is, but it looks like you can get into there, and there was another doorway out there onto the street. And there's some shrubs in here, and a nice little spot to sit. And here's the rear garden out through that small conservatory there. So it's not massive. It's mostly pebbles or rocks. That looks like there's a shed there, which is nice. A little fire pit there possibly, and another fire pit there. Some shrubs there, and a nice cherry blossom tree there. Looks nice from the back, but could do with a bit more greenery, in my opinion. There's another view. Oh, so it looks like there's a little summer house or maybe a work from home spot out there. And there's that front view again. Oh, yeah, we'll go to the floor plan while we're here. So I did say it was over 4 levels. So there we go. So there's a cellar down the bottom. I don't know if there's any photos of that or not. Some of those rooms were pretty dark though, so they could potentially have been cellars. But so there's the entrance in there. Oh, that's an entrance into that front shed thing, whatever that was. It also leads out onto the street. There's an entranceway into the kitchen there, dining room, was that room there, and then lounge room and conservatory, and then you can go upstairs there to the landing. First floor, there's the bathroom. It's quite a big looking bathroom from the photo. Could have been a deceiving photo, but it did look quite big. Bedroom 2 in there with some cupboards. I think that may have been the one with the flowers painted on the cupboards. The interesting carpet, and then that could have also been the interesting looking room, because when we're looking before, you could see the stairs there and you could see down into this room, and that might be the one with the tiles or the lino floor that was a bit strange looking in my opinion. And there's another bedroom there. I think that was one with also the spotty carpet, and then you can go up the stairs again to that loft bedroom, which was the one that I thought was quite nice. It still needed redecoration, but it had floorboards there, and then also there was stairs down, which I don't think there's any pictures of this in the presentation, but there's a cellar with quite a lot of space down there, so potentially turn that into something as well. So definitely needs some updates. Well, in my opinion anyway. Some people might like it as is, but for the price you're getting a lot of house. Not a lot of garden though, unfortunately. It was a garden at the back was okay, but still not massive. some people might be able to survive with a garden that size. And we'll have a scroll down here and have a look at some more. So terraced property, 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, potential for a lot more down in that cellar as well. 10-year freehold, guide price 260 to 270, so just slips under that current average house price. I think you should be able to get it for 268 or less, I'd imagine. Accommodation across 4 levels, 4 floors, full footprint cellar for storage or potential conversion. So there you go, store a lot of stuff or convert something. If you had a business, you could store a lot of your products or whatever down there if needed. Inventory, front and rear gardens, 4 bedroom, mid-terrace property, open plan lounge and dining room, conservatory leading to rear gardens, secure off-street parking behind gates. So you must be able to park behind those double gates there at the front. On pebbles at the front. Council tax, band C, parking yes, garden front garden, back garden, energy performance certificate. I don't think it'll be high, but I could be wrong. It's going to show us the EPC here. Click on this, there we go. So it is currently 19, so very low, with the potential to get to 84, so probably need a fair bit of work to get to that. Yeah, could be a bit chilly, or could cost a lot to heat. I guess that could be the other thing, as long as the heating is decent. So there's where it's located there, near Stanks. I don't know where Stanks is, but possibly to the east again. I don't know. That's just a guess based on the green space out that way. Near St Teresa's, I see primary school. Have a look at stations. So it must be near the other one, the one we looked at before, because it's near Crossgate Station, 0.8 miles, a little bit further away. Garforth Station, 2.8 miles, and East Garforth Station, 3.3 miles. And we'll check out the schools. Manston Primary School, 0.2. Manston St James Primary School, 0.3. John Smeaton Academy, 0.3. And St Teresa's Catholic Primary School, 0.3. So actually, there's a lot of schools around there. John Smeaton Academy. Some others, these other ones must be hidden. Manston is apparently closer than these ones, but they're pretty close, unless it's one of these things here that you can't see the name of, possibly. Open the map just to see exactly where this place is. It didn't open. I'll go back again, and here's the map. So you're near the Coolbeck Hotel, I think that's called, close to Barwick Road. Yeah, that looks like the edge of town there. Cockbeck nearby, whatever that is. Pendas Fields, Manston Park. I'll zoom in slightly to see if there's much else around. Veganlicious, looks like possibly a vegetarian restaurant there. The Cockbeck Hotel is what it was. I thought it was Coolbeck. I couldn't read it behind. I think it was sitting behind this symbol here, and I couldn't read it. Cockbeck Hotel. There we go. Interesting. We'll zoom out, and I think you'll find it is to the east of Leeds, and it is, yeah. So, and it said it was near that train station, New Cross Station. I think that was the name of it. It was reasonably close. Crossgates it is, sorry, Crossgate Station, just down there. So reasonably close to get into Leeds from that station. Well, I'm sure there's buses as well. And looks like there's a big Asda down that way as well. Bit of a way away, but there's a Tesco up there. Co-op, that's probably your closest actually, Co-op up there. So that's the end of our searches now. As you can see, that place was decent. Obviously needs a bit of work, but a lot of room, a lot of house space there if you include the cellar as well for that price, which is handy. Actually thought it might be a little bit closer to Leeds itself, just because it is terraced, closer to the city centre, but it's still a little way out. But it was nice enough. Potentially needs a bit of work. But that's it for our searches for this episode. We were able to find some decent places for the average house price in Leeds. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to see more like this. And let me know in the comments if you'd like me to check out any other places in different parts of the UK. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.